Festival of Forests is nearing. Only 2 days left. From 1st July to 7th July, there will be national celebration to adore and explore forests, wilderness, and start the monsoon tree planting program in all barren lands, wastelands, farmlands, institutional plantations and colleges, departments and nurseries are full of seedlings, saplings, various plants which are linked to our history, the culture, Ayurveda, Tinctology, revolutionaries, sacrifice, old manuscripts, literary thoughts, poems, short stories, novels. One means forest. It's only India where we have the Aranya Sanskriti, the civilization and cultural ethos that is linked to the nature, forests. We have always preached harmony with nature, and our sages and saints have very good idea about the diversity of different life forms in the form of plants, animals, mushrooms, fungi, microbes, primates, birds, reptiles, fishes, whatnot. Microscopic, macroscopic, we have many terms coined already in Sanskrit. Shatpad was used for hexapoda, stanpayi jantu for mammals. In the modern context, the tree planting program at the national level was the brainchild of Dr. Mohinder Singh Randhawa, who was himself a phycologist, algologist, who did his research work on Jaganmatesi. He laid down the landscaping design of Chandigarh city. He has authored more than 50 books on different genres, on varied subjects as varied as painting, Chamba painting, Kangra painting, Basoli painting, plants of parks and gardens, the beautiful shrubs of India, even the travels in the Himalayas. He was also instrumental in establishment of art museums, and he was also remembered for his contributions in the Indian Council of Agriculture Research for the Green Revolution in India. He was a scientist, he was a botanist, he was a phycologist, he was a naturalist, he was a plant lover, and he was a able administrator, Deputy Commissioner, Delhi, when he started the tree planting program in the 4th week of July 1947, literally speaking, before independence of India. Because we got independence in August, and tree planting program started in the 4th week of July. Later, after having our own constitution and India became republic, then Union Agriculture Minister Kanhaiyalal Maniklal Munshi ji thought of rechristening this tree planting program as Vanmahotsava, Festival of Forests, and shifted the time of planting to 1st week of July as the monsoon arrives in India, in the mainland, much earlier. So why to wait for the 4th week of July? Let us celebrate nature in its various manifestations, maybe forests, grasslands, alpine meadows, cold desert, hot desert, freshwater aquatic ecosystems, farmlands, urban green spaces. When monsoon clouds start showering, the rains, incessant rains and greenery and biodiversity thrives all around. So, we are celebrating the Vanmahotsava Festival of Forests in July 2025, and I will just inform you or bring to your notice some glimpses of my publications which I started way back in 1994, but first poetry collection was Chandni Kanso, and again the latest publication of 2025 is another poetry collection, that is Basant Geet Tavida. So just to make you familiar how Vanmahotsava has also found place in Dogri, Hindi and English literature authored by me. Starting from this book, Duggar Di Banaspati, I included various Dogri names of various herbs, creepers, climbers and trees. Duggar De Jeev Jantu was another book where I coined various terms to express different classes of animals, apes, mammalia, protozoa, coelentrates, porifera. For example, for porifera, I use the term Pruncerera. Likewise, for mammals, I use the word memento. There was another book, Chapasmi Surakhya, which also fetched the Lakshmi Shivnath Award, and in this book, I introduced various other terms like environment, Chapasam, lithosphere, hydrosphere, etc. Then there was a book, Trip Trip Chete, which fetched me the Sahitya Academy Award. And this book also stands translated in Hindi under the title Boond Boond Samritya, Wild and Cultivated Plants of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, published by Directorate of Social Forestry, were unique in having the floral canvas of Jammu as well as Kashmir and as well as cold desert Ladakh. All three regions, plants got included in this wild and cultivated plants of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh with local names in Dogri, Pahadi, Kashmiri and Ladakhi. There was many other books. One was Rukh Boote Jeev Jantu in Dogri, then followed by another Jammu Kashmir ki Van Sampada. It was in Hindi. Then even in the stories, I could not leave my love for plants and nature, the mountain, the snow and the heritage trees like chinar and pines. Then there was a book focused on medicinal plants, and also I tried to bring out one book which was titled as Chit Lagya Full Patar, where I included all plants as per Bentham and Hooker classification but in chaste Dogri language, and poetic expression was appreciated by many readers. There was another short story book under the name Chida Di Dali, and I just have this fascination of this bird also in this Rufus Sibia, Heterophasia capistrata bird. So even in the Trip Trip Chete, I have included the birds under the essay as Pakru Pal, bird watching. Medicinal plants of plains and hills was another book with some colored photographs and many hand-drawn sketches. Then plants of parks and gardens while I was serving in the Department of Vigilance. While serving in vigilance organization, state vigilance organization, I produced these two books, rather three books. One was Chitlagya Fulpatar, and then Medicinal Plants of Plains and Hills, and Plants of Parks and Gardens, with special focus on Flowers of Mughal Gardens of Kashmir. It was followed by another Dogri book which was focused or dedicated to the flight of birds, the beauty of birds. Birds in all different orders, they were dealt with in pure Dogri style. And then it was followed by another book, Illustrated Dictionary of Biodiversity, with colorful hand-drawn sketches of various birds, insects, butterflies, flowers. And in this, I tried to include the Dogri name, its Hindi equivalent, as well as its English name. Then another unique book, Vidyarthi's Dictionary of Plants and Animals, was also published by Sahitya Sangam, Kacheshavali. And it has many hand-drawn sketches, not only of plants, but also of animals, birds, ferns, mushrooms, spiders, mammals, frogs, reptiles, primates, mosses, liverworts. So it was also received well by the nature lovers. Then there was a book, Foliage and Flower Identification Tips, how to identify the foliage and flower correctly. Followed by another poetry book, Aungal Fadi Basantane. This was also revolving around the floral diversity of Jammu and Kashmir. Followed by another book, Glossary of Scientific Technical Terms, which exclusively dealt with newly coined words for various plants, animal groups, as well as ecological terms and forestry expressions. And then ecotourism destinations of Gurez, Gangabal and Gulmarg. This was the mountain of Gulmarg, and the Kishan Ganga river is flowing, but biodiversity is unique, and that is captured in the book. Ecotourism destinations, Gurez, Gangabal and Gulmarg. And then there was another Nikke Nivand, a poetry style, small short essays in Dogri language. Then I have another book which is titled as Dard Jungle Ka. It was published in 2010, the International Year of Biodiversity. And in that year, I also had another book, Wildflowers for Ecotourists and Naturalists, with many plants which are of beautiful ornamental nature and which have various local names, for example, Balti, English, Hindi, Ladakhi, Pogli, Dogri, Gojri, Kashmiri, Pahadi, Shina language. So in different languages, what this particular wild plant or forest flower is named as, that was dealt with. And what are the threats to such flowers? It was also enumerated and discussed. There are heart-shaped slipper orchids, Cypripedium cordigerum or Delphinium brunonianum. Like this, Aramurus hamalicus. So Gentiana paludosa, Gentiana kashmirica, Gentianopsis strachii, all these were discussed, followed by the full-fledged book, Forest Flora of Kashmir. I think first Indian Forest Service officer in Jammu and Kashmir who attempted to compile the book Forest Flora of Kashmir with various local names from the different regions and as well as the colorful pictures of some useful plants which I included myself while wandering in the woods. For example, this is Dhuppa. This is Labetra Kashmiriana. So there are different plants which are incorporated and along with local variation of different names, family-wise treatment, and it is also, I think, well taken by the foresters as well the frontline field staff. There were some other compilations, among them Buddhi and herbaceous plants, herbaceous medicinal plants. This was another book which also got published in International Year of Biodiversity 2010, followed by another Dogri book, Kudrat De Rang. Likewise, we have other Chit Lagge Rukh Ragde that focuses on tree talk troubles like different tree talks were compiled in this book. The tree talk program, which was launched on 19 December 2010, is still continuing, and it has already 1641 interactions. There was another book, Illustrated Dictionary of Flora and Fauna. It is also comprehensive, and all plants, animals stand arranged alphabetically from E to Z. So there was another book in Hindi which was also published thereafter in 2012 under the title Ped, Paryavaran and Paryatan. Followed by another Dogri book, Jammu, the Flora Fauna. Photo you see is of Gwalmanda, Telosma pallida, which is the very popular floral vegetable in Dogara land. This is also known as a Pakalana vine in English. Another book which again depicts some reflections of the forest, Dekhta Hoon Jungle Ko, is a Hindi poetry book. Followed by another book which focuses on eco stories of plants and animals of Jammu and Kashmir with unique flowers like blue poppy and the Podophyllum hexandrum, then Jarul, Pride of India, Lagestremia speciosa, even butterflies, even beetles, and it has the Soranjan Talak or Vircium flower story, as well as stories of antidiabetic Queen's crepe myrtle and even Buduphodia fruticosa and Jintoi, which is linked to the festival of Kanchauth in Bhadrava, all stands discussed in detail. Then I have another book which I could not locate right now. That was Wild Edible Plants of Jammu and Kashmir, published by State Forest Research Institute, but it was again compiled by me. And Roo Jangal Di, another Dogri poetry book, which again reflects the ecological concerns and how beautiful architecture of our forefathers, inspired from nature, has always taught the sermons of living in harmony with nature and never go greedy. But present modern times we have forgotten that ethos. Here you see the local people just in some sacred grove near Kagga, Chadai, Pindi Bani, where they have gathered, they have brought milk, curd, rice, vegetables from their homes, and they are preparing for a community feast inside the sacred grove, where they have also preserved flora and fauna. It is like a sacred forest dedicated in the name of village deity, and this is an octagonal water reservoir at the same place, Kagga, Chadai. There was a time when I was also holding the chore member secretary, Jammu Kashmir Biodiversity Board. At that time, handbook on people's biodiversity register, it was required. So what are different guidelines? It was also published. Followed by another book, Jungle, Paryavaran, the Sanskriti, which is again a Dogri compilation focused on some very beautiful and unique forest flowers like Thub, Erythrina variegata, Chew, Rhododendron arboreum, Pala, Dhak, Plash, Butea monosperma, Symbol, Semal, Shalmali, Salmalia, Malabaricum or Bombaxiba, Agni Shikha, Kukadsira, Kadiyanag, Gloriosa superba, Krangal, Krangal, Amaltas, Aragbad, Kesia festula, Yogi Padshah, Sasuria, Simpsoniana, and others. Then there was another book which was published by Jammu and Kashmir Biodiversity Council under the title Jungle Jaiva Vividhata. It encompasses plants as well as animals and has a different chapters as per the class of the plants or animals or trees or, and this particular book also includes the local names. For example, Sukhchan Karanj is nothing but Milatia pinnata. For example, Muraya Kanigai, which is Kadi Patta, in Dogri it is called as Drankal Drankadi. Morasereta, it is called Kurman Koi. Mitragaina parvifolia, which is sacred to Indians, as it is called Krishna Kadamb. So this has local Dogri names as Kam, Kam Kadamb, like that. So I included the Dogri names of all biodiversity so that the members of biodiversity management committees, they can seek the help of this book to mention the relevant taxa, whether plant or animal, shrub or whatever. So local names at one place. So this was also published by the Jammu Kashmir Biodiversity Council. So after the publications, I have the latest publication of this year in 2025, Pushpit Pulkit Pathpe. So this is just the glimpses of various travels either in the forests within Jammu and Kashmir or even in distant lands like Chicago, Washington, New York, as well as outside Jammu and Kashmir within India. And another book, which is the latest one, Basant Keet Tavida. This also focuses on river Tavi, which is worshipped as Suryaputri, but because of over exploitation of for the extraction of sand and pebbles and indiscriminate use of insecticides, pesticides and non-biodegradable plastic waste, the ecology of river Tavi has changed and we have lost many fish species within this stretch when river Tavi enters the Jammu city. Otherwise, this is the Rabat city, Rabat river, which is supposed to have been brought to Jammu by Pahad Devta, and we have a very sacred Pahad Devta temple also, and there we find river Tavi has conserved the Mansir fish Tor Puchitora. So Vanmahotsava is the time when we need to interact and know what is in the neighborhood, how it was conserved and preserved by our forefathers, and how they interpreted different elements of nature, and what we are doing, how we can learn from the past and try to strengthen the old local health traditions or the movement of community conservation through the establishment of sacred groups which are still around us, as we have the Geopota Ghat. Even that tree is not there, which was the original tree where Maharaja Gulab Singh took the Rai Tilak ceremony. But then near Gujansu we have the full-fledged Geopota forest, which is conserved as sacred grove and it is dedicated to local deity. So let us celebrate 2025 Vanmahotsava with lot of enthusiasm, especially the youth need to inculcate the interest and have the passion to love nature. Let us traverse the woods. Let us explore and adore different forest creatures, birds, flowers, medicinal plants, mushrooms, and try to learn how they are interlinked in establishing the ecological balance. We are already observing International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration. It means ecosystems are sick, they are degraded, and they need the proper redressal of ecological woes. So for ecosystem restoration, easiest method is tree planting. So let us plant trees which have nurtured the Indian ethos, the cultural rituals, and try to enlist the rare plants, rare trees of Jammu and Kashmir. It was only few years back that Tree Talk team could bring to the notice of all nature lovers that we have very rare tree, Ilex excelsa, near Sukrala temple in Bilawar. Another tree, tiger tree, Chuntar, known to Dogaras since ages. We have very old trees. These trees are also preserved in the sacred groves of Japan. And this tree, as per wildlife experts, is named as tiger tree, as the tigers use this tree to mark the territory, as this tree oozes the red sap, and that particular sap is visible from a distance. So wherever it is scratched tree, it means it is scratched by a tiger. So it was given the name tiger tree. We also reported another unique tree from the Mashedi area, that was Daphne Himalayans, as new report from Jammu and Kashmir. Another new report was reported from Sundarvani Tahsil, that was the Roxworks olive, Chionanthus ramiflorus. When I visited Chicago city, I found another most decorative ornamental Chionanthus, but that Chionanthus was Chionanthus virginianus. So whether we are in India, Asia, or Australia, or Africa, or Europe, or America, this web of life is one. There is a Gaia theory, animate and inanimate objects, and everything, including the oceans, they regulate the climate. And carbon sequestration role is performed by the green plants. So we need to conserve and add more and more carbon sequestering entities, plants, flowers, creepers, so that we have less global warming and our glaciers are preserved in the Himalayas, so that we have the perpetual supply of drinking water, and along with the preservation of waters, aquifers, water resources, will also be able to ensure the food security and health security. So this is the essence of celebration of Vanmahotsava. It should not be taken lightly. Each and every person's role is important. And whatever you do, even a small step, it will magnify, it will multiply. When many shoulders, many hands join, it becomes a movement, and then the results are more spectacular. So I wish all nature lovers happy Vanmahotsava celebrations 2025.